All right, how do you make your first 10K a month by becoming a closer? I know you guys are fed up. I've seen everyone with their lucid charts, so I figured I'd make a PowerPoint instead, just to switch it up a bit. But this is just going to be a basic training on why I believe making your first 10K a month as a closer is probably the best option for most of you guys. It's how I made my first 10K a month. Most people think it was through my business. It was actually through becoming a closer. So that's how I made my first 10K. And then I leveraged those skills to afterwards start my own business. So I'll be going over a bit more in details on my story. I'll explain to you guys how you can become a closer. All right. There is some training. You guys have to put in some work beforehand. But once you have the training, I'll explain to you how to do it. I'll explain to you how to find a position and then how to scale and make more money from it. How I got introduced to sales. Okay. So I started off at working at Costco. Many people don't know that. I used to work regular grocery job, nothing too special, while I was at university. So I was studying industrial engineering. Many people ask me, Oliver, why did you pick engineering? I went on Google. I wrote top degrees for CEOs, and I saw it was engineering. So that's when I just took the jump, applied for an engineering degree. I saw Elon Musk had an engineering degree, so I'm like, okay, if he's making money and he has that degree, then I can make that same amount of money because we have the same degree. That was my mindset back then. Anyways, I went to school. During my last year, I was supposed to apply to a internship. Okay, I like, to get my degree, I had to do an internship, and I did not want to do it. All right, I was not excited. It wasn't what I wanted to do with my life. And I was kind of like, I was pushing it back till the very last summer where I had to take one in order to graduate. And then what happened is I went to class one day. I sat and there was like this piece of paper that was like stuck to my back. So I take it from my chair and I'm like, what the hell is this? And it was basically a job position for a door-to-door knocking position selling pest control. I was like, this seems interesting. And there was some crazy thing like make 40, 50K in the summer. Like that was like the headline of the little flyer. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, I'm like, no one can make 50K a month or 50K during a summer as a student, especially because it was advertised for students only. So I, of course, during class, instead of listening, I did my research on my computer. I looked into the company and I was like, this is actually a legit company. Now, some people were viewing it as a scam and everything. They're like, they won't pay you. It's difficult work conditions, a bunch of like people like complaining and stuff like that. Oh, it's commission based only, it's no security and stuff like that. And I was like, bro, I'm like, if it's a sales position, like, of course there's no security. Like, if you don't perform, you don't get paid. I wouldn't expect a base salary as a closer, So yeah, I basically took up the offer. They taught me everything I know today about sales. Well, the basics at least, the basic, how to sell face-to-face to people, how to handle objections, how to present product, and more importantly, how to just do volume. When you're door knocking, you're knocking about 100 doors per day. And when you get maybe out of 100, I'll maybe make like 3 sales, 4 sales in a day. So most of those doors were people saying, no, I'm not interested, fuck off. And after a while, you develop a thick skin. And that is what's going to sort of build you into a better person that's capable of handling rejection and also understanding that, you can't take these things personal. You just need to go after enough doors, enough volume to see the results that you want. Okay, so that's basically what I learned. At the end of the summer, I closed 206 accounts and I was averaging about 10K a month during the summer. So I was extremely happy. The expectations were met. Of course, most people did not make these numbers. Most people are lazy. They didn't want to stay up late. They didn't want to door knock. We were door knocking 6-7 days a week. I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to make money. So I did it as much as I could. Afterwards, I just created my own product. So I started with my agency and then I used those sales skills that I acquired to sell my own product. And that's how I made my second 10K a month milestone with an actual business instead of a job position. Now, what are the benefits of working in sales? First of all, obviously you can make good money. Okay, I think that's the obvious thing. You don't have to worry about running a company. Looking back, my closers can make anywhere from 20 to 30K a month. That is insane money, especially that they're typically younger people, so especially at that age, like early 20s. And you're making that amount of money by just for a couple of hours sitting, having conversations, closing people, collecting payments, and then you can just shut off your brain and do anything you want. When you own a company, if you own a company, you make 50K a month, which is more than a closer, let's say, which is nice. There is so much more headache, so much more work, so much more risk that's involved. And for some people, I do believe just getting that closing position can lead to a better sort of quality of life, at least at the beginning. You don't have to worry too much about running a company, running ads, dealing with clients and all these things. You just close, collect payments, get paid, and boom, move on to the next call. All right, so you don't have to worry about running a company. You can work from anywhere. As you can see in the picture on the right, this was me in France. So I live in Montreal, in Canada, for those that don't know. And I basically spent a month in France, met with a couple of friends, a couple of people from the company. And while I was there, I was also closing, because back then I was doing the closing myself. I was closing, making money, and traveling at the same time. So that was pretty cool. And of course, you will develop a skill that's forever going to be beneficial to you. Okay. Many people think sales is just this interaction on the computer. You know, being good at sales will help you in numerous aspects in your life. You know, when you're speaking with people, you're able to sell yourself and all of these things. So it's very important to learn how to sell as an entrepreneur. Now, how do you actually find a 10K per month sales position? Okay, this is the difficult part. Okay, let's say you want to become a closer, you're up for the challenge. It is not easy to find a position. Okay, because why would someone hire you if you have zero skills and experience? It doesn't make any sense. So my recommendation is to join some sort of mentorship group that will teach you the basics of sales. If you look at my story, how did I learn sales? I had to take a position which was commission based only, and luckily they took anyone. They didn't really care because they knew most people would quit after 2 weeks. And they basically taught me everything, the basics about how to sell. So I went through my own mentorship, which was in person, and my mentors, my managers who had the experience in sales, and they taught me everything that I know today. And you guys have to do the same. All right, books are great, but nothing's going to beat real life practice. The amount of people that come to me who want to work as closers, like, Oliver, I want to become a closer for you. I read this book, I'm ready to start. It's like, books is like, it's good, like it gives you good information and everything, but if you never applied what these books are teaching you in actual practice, they're useless. I will forever take someone who has the experience, who has closed before in the past, versus someone who just spends his entire days like reading books and watching videos and stuff like that. So you need experience. So how do you get this experience? So once you have some sort of basic acquired skill, which again, I would get through some sort of mentorship, okay? That is the best way to get started, is you join a group, a community, and you work with someone who knows what they're talking about, and they will give you everything you need to know to learn and to become a good salesperson. Now, that first position, as mentioned, will be the most difficult thing in your life, okay? Getting that first job will be super difficult, but once you get it, then everything is smooth sailing from there. I would, once you go through the training, start sending 20 to 30 DMs per day to various online entrepreneurs, ideally in spaces that you are familiar with. So if you're very familiar with the agency space, like marketing and stuff like that, then try to reach out to SMMA people. If you're good in something else, if it's online fitness, training and stuff like that, reach out to those types of people. Start sending 20 to 30 DMs, the more the better. Send them a short 30-second video message introducing yourself. The thing about sales is that I have lots of salespeople on my team. So I need to know, see you and see how you speak and how you present yourself and how confident you are, because that tells me a lot about the type of closer you will be. If someone sends me a video and they're super shy and everything, I already know they're not going to be a good fit. If they send me a text, I don't know anything about you, and I am not going to take the extra step and start replying to you and getting to know you and everything. I don't have the time to do that. Okay, so the best thing, what I love when people do, is they send me a short recording of themselves. So I get to see them. I get to see them in action because they're selling themselves. So you are selling at that particular moment. Introduce yourself, explain you're looking for a commission-based position, and don't be picky for that first position. Okay, it will be difficult to get one. Maybe the first one won't be perfect, but once you get the experience, it's going to be a lot easier afterwards to jump to another position that's a lot more lucrative, where you can make more money, and it's a better fit for you. And yeah, what you're looking for in a company, obviously we want online jobs. If you want to do an in-person position like me, door knocking, that's also good, but I think you can just jump to online. It's just overall a lot better, and there's more opportunities as well. You want a high ticket sales position. Okay, so ideally you're selling something between 1K to 10K. So that when you get a commission, it's a pretty good amount. You want to get qualified leads and appointments. In a perfect company, when you get onboarded, they'll give you a couple of calls, they'll test you out. And then once you're fully onboarded, they should be able to provide you with a fully packed calendar. If you're only getting 1 to 2 calls per day, that defeats the purpose, because even if you do close those 2 deals, you cannot make that much money. Okay, so you have to have the opportunity to make at least 10K a month with the amount of calls that they're giving you, as well as the ticket price of your commission that you're getting paid. What really helps is when you're selling for someone who has an amazing personal brand, okay, so someone who has an Instagram, a YouTube, or whatever, as well as an amazing offer. Okay, that is the most important part. If the offer is not good and you're selling something that people don't want, so you're selling like SEO services or, hey, I'll build you a website, even though they might have enough appointments, the ticket price might be expensive, it's a hard thing to sell because people don't care that much and people know they can just hire some random person from a third world country to do the website for them for a fraction of the cost. So having an amazing offer for someone who has a personal brand, which will make it easy for you to close and can provide you with enough appointments, and you're selling a product that's high ticket, that is the perfect formula. Probably your first position will not fit those criteria, which is normal, but once you get that first position, you have some experience, you have some practice, then transition towards this type of position, okay? Now, if you're serious about making 10K a month, check out my mentorship program below. Okay, there's gonna be a link in the description. My team will personally mentor you on the one-to-one basis to turn you into a killer closer. Okay, that's what we do. We teach people how to start their online businesses, their agencies. And one of the most important part, the most crucial part that I tell everyone is learning how to sell. Because you can have the best product, you can book appointments, but if you're not able to sell, those appointments are useless. Nothing's gonna happen. So that's where I spend the most time with my students. I turn them into closers. It's a performance-based mentorship. And not only will you receive weekly calls with me, but you're also going to receive all of my sales scripts that I've been perfecting over the past 2 years. So as you can see, we've worked with almost 300 people. And over time, I know what works because it's one thing for me to sell for myself, but it's another thing for you to sell yourself because you have your own style, you have your own sort of way of doing things. So my scripts will help you specifically because I have multiple variations depending on the type of person that you are. And not to mention you'll have the opportunity to close for our other clients who are constantly seeking new talented closers. So in this mentorship, some people will have their own businesses, their own agencies, and some will look for positions at these people's agencies. So if you join and you don't want to start your own agency, but you want to close for someone who is booking calls, that happens multiple times, you have 300 people who are running agencies who are looking for closers. And because you went through our training, you are trusted. They know you're good and everything. And it's an easy way to get the ball rolling. So that's going to be all for today. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoy this different type of sort of variation using PowerPoints and everything. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, if you have any questions, any concerns, anything, send me a message on Instagram and I will personally message you back and give you more information on whatever wasn't clear in today's video. Okay, best of luck. Talk soon.